The phone buzzed, a seemingly innocent interruption. It was late, almost midnight. He was asleep beside me, his breathing slow and steady. I, however, was wide awake, plagued by a strange unease that had settled in my gut over the last few weeks. I glanced at the phone, his phone resting on the nightstand. Curiosity, or maybe a subconscious pull, led me to reach for it. The lock screen glowed, revealing a message preview that sent a chill down my spine. It was a woman's name, a name I didn't recognize, followed by a string of heart emojis and a message that made my blood run cold. Can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Last night was amazing. The words seemed to jump out at me, each one a searing brand on my heart. The room felt suddenly airless. I struggled to breathe, my chest constricting with a pain so sharp it felt physical. The phone slipped from my grasp, landing on the floor with a dull thud. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, my world tilting on its axis. The man lying next to me, the man I loved, the man I thought I knew, was a stranger. The betrayal was a punch to the gut, a visceral blow that left me reeling. It was the ultimate violation of trust, the shattering of a love I believed in with every fiber of my being. In that moment, I knew nothing would ever be the same. Our love story had been the stuff of fairy tales, a whirlwind romance that swept me off my feet. We met at a friend's birthday party, his eyes meeting mine across the crowded room. I was immediately drawn to his easy smile and infectious laughter. He had this way of making me feel like I was the only woman in the world, showering me with compliments and gestures of affection. We were inseparable from the start, spending every free moment together. He was charming and attentive, always knowing how to make me smile. He introduced me to his friends and family, each encounter solidifying the depth of our connection. I felt seen, cherished, loved. He proposed on a beach at sunset, the waves crashing against the shore, a soundtrack to our love story. With tears in my eyes I said yes, believing with all my heart that I had found my forever person. We were a perfect match, two souls destined to navigate life's adventures hand in hand, or so I thought. Looking back, there were signs, subtle cracks in the foundation of our relationship that I chose to ignore. A missed call at an odd hour, a flicker of guilt in his eyes when I asked about his day. I brushed them off, attributing them to stress or my own insecurities. After all, I trusted him completely. But the signs became harder to dismiss. The lipstick stain on his collar that he blamed on a clumsy colleague. The late nights at work that stretched into the early hours of the morning. The whispers on the phone, his voice hushed and hurried when I entered the room. A knot of suspicion began to tighten in my stomach, a nagging voice whispering doubts in my ear. I tried to silence it, to cling to the belief that my gut was wrong, that my love was strong enough to weather any storm. But deep down, a part of me knew something was amiss. The man I loved was becoming a stranger, his touch no longer familiar, his eyes holding secrets he was desperate to hide. After the gut-wrenching discovery of the text message, I felt like I was drowning in a sea of confusion and hurt. I needed answers, proof that my worst fears were unfounded. I spent the rest of the night tossing and turning, my mind racing with possibilities, each more painful than the last. When he finally woke up, I confronted him, the dam of my emotions breaking. His initial denial was unconvincing, his eyes darting around the room, unable to meet mine. But as I pressed for the truth, the facade crumbled. He confessed to everything. He revealed a secret phone, a digital Pandora's box filled with messages, photos and videos that confirmed my worst nightmares. It was a betrayal of epic proportions, a double life meticulously crafted and cruelly hidden from the woman who loved him most. Section 5. The confrontation. A tidal wave of emotions. The confrontation was a blur of emotions, rage, heartbreak, disbelief, and a profound sense of betrayal. Tears streamed down my face as I listened to his explanations, each word a fresh wound to my already shattered heart. He tried to explain, to justify his actions, but his words rang hollow. I felt like a stranger in my own life, the rug pulled out from under my feet. How could the man who promised me forever, who vowed to love and cherish me, inflict such pain? The weight of his betrayal was suffocating, threatening to consume me entirely. In that moment of raw vulnerability, I realized the depth of my own strength. With a trembling voice, I told him to leave. I needed time to process, to heal, to rediscover myself amidst the wreckage of our shattered love. Section 6. Picking up the pieces, the long road to healing. The aftermath of his betrayal was a period of profound darkness and introspection. The life I had so carefully built, the future I had envisioned, lay in ruins at my feet. Grief washed over me in waves, threatening to pull me under. There were days when getting out of bed felt like an insurmountable task. I isolated myself from friends and family, seeking solace in solitude. I replayed every moment of our relationship, searching for answers that were lost in the labyrinth of his deceit. But as the initial shock subsided, a flicker of determination ignited within me. I refused to let his betrayal define me. I began to piece my life back together, one painful step at a time. Section 7. Finding strength in vulnerability. Sharing my story. Sharing my story, laying bare the raw wounds of my heart, was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. But in my vulnerability, I found strength. I connected with other women who had endured similar experiences, their empathy and support a lifeline in my darkest hours. I realized that I was not alone in my pain, that betrayal, though devastating, is a shared human experience. By sharing my story, I hope to empower other women to reclaim their lives, to find their voice, and to know that healing is possible, even in the face of unimaginable heartbreak. Section 8. Embracing the future, lessons learned and love found. The journey of healing from betrayal is not linear. There were setbacks and tears, moments of doubt and anger, but gradually the darkness began to lift. I learned to forgive, not for him, but for myself. I realized that holding on to resentment was only hurting me, preventing me from moving forward. I emerged from the experience stronger, more resilient, and with a deeper understanding of myself. I learned to set boundaries, to trust my intuition, and to never settle for anything less than I deserved. And while the scars of his betrayal may always linger, they no longer define me. Life, as it always does, went on. I found love again, a love built on trust, respect, and a shared understanding of the complexities of the human heart. Section 9. A new dawn, hope springs eternal. The pain of betrayal, while profound, can be a catalyst for growth and transformation. It shattered my illusions, forcing me to confront my own vulnerabilities and to emerge stronger on the other side. It taught me the importance of self-love, forgiveness, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Today, as I look back on that tumultuous chapter of my life, I do so with a sense of gratitude. The experience, though excruciating, broke me open in ways I never thought possible. It taught me that even in the darkest of times, hope springs eternal, and that the human heart, though capable of immense pain, is also capable of extraordinary resilience, love, and the courage to begin again.